This is about legalism and the Warring States period in China. So the Warring States of China in 260 BC, you have these different factions dividing up China. The first note to write down is that the late Zhou period was marked by conflict. Legalism. Number 2, the Qin emperors Shang Yang and especially Han Feizi developed a system called legalism. Note 3, the philosophy of legalism is reward those who follow the law, severely punish those who don't. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Laws and punishments were made clear, and then people were supposed to be equal under the law. I'm going to quickly just pause the lecture, get the notes, and come back. Number 5, legalism empowered the emperor because people were afraid to break the law, and this was thought to create order. Then we have the Qin dynasty, 220 years before Christ to 200 years before Christ. Not a very long dynasty, but why is it important? Let's talk about notable accomplishments of this empire. The leader of the Qin people, Shi Huangdi, who called himself the first emperor, as if there had been none before, became the leader of China. And here is a quote. He had a high pointed nose, slit eyes, pigeon chest, wolf voice, tiger heart. He was stingy, cringing, graceless. Didn't have grace. That's too bad. Grace is so important for us. Number 2, Shi Huangdi centralized the Chinese government that had been warring. 3, he abolished the feudal states and used the army to control the lords. So he basically brought China back together again. That's why Qin is significant. Number 4, standardized the measurement of writing. He created national coins. He repaired roads and canals. Number 5, he began the construction of the Great Wall. So isn't that beautiful there with all the hills? So beautiful. The Great Wall is 5,500 miles long. That is a very, very, very long wall. Very long. The purpose is to protect China's northern border from invasion, and they made it kind of lovely as well, but people did lose their lives building it. Thousands of workers spent years building the wall, and future dynasties would add more to it. Look at that mist there. It's just lovely. And then next we have the Han Dynasty. The Han Dynasty is going to take us similarly to the Roman Empire, actually. It's in power about the same time period that the Roman Empire has its heyday. And after China, we're going to talk about Greece and then Rome. So the Han Dynasty is in power from 206 BC to AD 220. So 206 years before Christ to 220 years after his birth. And think during the Roman Empire as well. Number 1, when Shi Huangdi died, the people revolted and the Han came to power. Number 2, the peasant leader Liu Bang took control of China and he changed his name to Gaozu. Gaozu eased taxes and the harsh policies of the Qin. The Han Empire greatly expanded Chinese border. So while Rome was expanding its empire, the Han Dynasty was expanding China's borders. And Rome ended up having more square miles of empire, but the Han had a similar population to the population of the Roman Empire. Number 5, let's learn about the Han government and economy. Government and economy A, the Wu Di is the most famous Han emperor. B, for government and economy, Wu Di strengthened the Chinese government by establishing civil service exams. And the idea was that your merit would get you farther in the government, not your family influence or your money. But guess who could pay for the best education, the best tutors? The wealthy. So it was supposed to be kind of an ability and a talent test, but you could sort of buy education at least. And in the government and economy, they built roads and canals to improve trade. Roads like the Roman roads as well. You can see them doing some similar things during this time. They stored grain in good times and sold it during bad times. Reminds me of Joseph.